Welcome back, everybody! Are you ready to go ahead and impress some people who go to universities? You know, because that's what people do. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's go ahead and press this. I don't even know what it said. I just, whatever, who cares. So you saw a raised pistol, weren't you frightened?
It can be said we students of Ivy University know no fear. The moment I saw that pistol, my inner sense of justice compelled me to take action.
That was certainly brave of you. You might have gotten shot.
Eh?
You certainly were lucky. If I were in the killer's shoes, I certainly wouldn't have left a witness behind.
Dot.
He actually looks like he had no idea he was in danger.
Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed. Cease this at once, you two, I cried with composure.
What does this supposed to say?
As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action.
I see indeed. Anyway, though, cease this at once, you see I cried with composure. Are you sure both men were able to hear your voice?
They were, of course. My high, exquisite voice echoed through the park.
And the victim responded to that clarion call.
Quite.
I'll get it now.
The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out.
Did you hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned?
Indeed, I would say about the same time, to be precise.
And the victim didn't ask you for help?
It can be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step.
I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him.
Don't say that too loud, Trucy, please.
Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened.
Can you describe the killer's actions more clearly?
He seemed quite surprised, especially considering that it was he who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is a tangled web indeed.
He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shot, he panicked, a common tale but true.
Unfortunately, before I could take further action, tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
You didn't try to apprehend the criminal?
It all happened so fast, I'm afraid I hadn't the time.
Wasn't something about that strike he was out, Apollo?
What?
The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away.
According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes?
In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find.
Find something? Find what?
I like that contradiction. Kinda sad to see it go.
Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now?
At least the testimony's getting a little bit clearer.
She's right. Maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony. Oh, can you now? Well, let's see. Cease this once you cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice and the shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. Did he now? Well, let's see. What is the point here? What do I do to contradict this or something? I'm pretending I'm causing that single bullet right samples. Is anything here? Let's see. Damage to brain resulting from bullet wound. No, not that I see here anyway. Also known as Shiv were found at the crime scene bearing Waukie's prints. Well, apparently he didn't toss the pistol. Maybe it was the knife. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm not 100% sure right now. Find a trash can. People going to say at least. Waukie's checkup report results from a checkup performed June. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Weapon left at the crime scene. 2 rounds were fired. Fingerprints were wiped. Huh. Well, the fingerprints were wiped, so there's technically no proof. Wait a second now. I haven't actually checked some of this stuff, have I? So let's see. We're talking about the pistol, right? I haven't even taken a look at this yet. At least I don't think I have. Could be wrong about that. Let's see. Where is it? There you are. Well, don't point that thing at me.
Don't worry, I can handle myself around guns. Magic guns, at least. The ones that pigeons come out of.
Very reassuring. That was it? was expecting a little bit more about this, but apparently not. Well, no point in not checking anyway. You never know when something crazy could happen just by looking at stuff. You know, it's really, everyone just never know about that. Anyway, there's nothing there. That's rather shameful. I think, I don't know. I'm actually not sure. I want to say the knife, because we know for sure that Walkie's prints are on there, but we don't have them on the gun. So technically there is no proof that he's the one who tossed the gun, or that he even tossed the gun in the first place. I don't know. Heck with it, I'm gonna do it, the knife. Dang it! I don't know what to present now. Well, okay everyone, what do you think? What do you think the answer could be? It could be literally anything, but we don't really actually know that, do we? This game's hard. First case is pretty hard. This case is already pretty hard. Let's see. Fled from the scene. Maybe I'll look at the map. What could he do? What could he do? I don't really know, actually. Is there any proof of something that he could have done, perhaps, with the map? No, probably not. Let me look at this other stuff again. Whereupon our gallery kills friends, victims, my voice was shot right now. Jesus, once, two, I covered composure. As soon as I could feel red visible, I took action. Well, how do I prove any of this wrong? Oh, we're stuck already, everyone. This episode just began, and I already don't know what to do. Well, that's not good. It really isn't good. Well, anyway, let's look at everything here. Custom-made Elden move, decorated with Elden. That doesn't really prove anything, does it? I assume not, anyway. Who could have dropped it? Who could have dropped it, indeed? Honestly, though, I mean, could it have just been those? It could have been anyone, though. There's no proof. There's just no proof to anything here. Fingerprint powder, but that doesn't prove anything. I don't know, everyone. I don't want to almost just look at this stuff, but I don't really know. Let me look at this again. Metallic object found near hard urgent exam needed. That's it. That's all. That's all it says. 2 rounds are fired. Fingerprints were wiped. But if I... well, what would the gun prove, though? Would the gun prove anything? I do wonder about that. Let's see. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Let's see. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Okay. So he says, 1, 2, 2, I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. I found the cowardly killer from the scene. Well, I don't know, everyone. I feel like this is gonna be the first guilty verdict of the game. What do I do? What do I do? Help me, everyone. I don't know what to do right now. The victim turned in the direction and a shot rang out. Should I just say that 2 shots came out? But then did I present that for a previous evidence or a previous testimony? This is actually a different recording day, by the way. Oh my gosh. So I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do. I might do it. I don't know. I might. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's worth trying it, but... oh, the pain, everyone. The pain. I don't know what to do right now. So let's see. If I do that... No. Let's not do that one. He was so frightened. How do I prove that he wasn't frightened, though? I can't prove that, can I? Let's see. Can I prove that he took action? No, I really probably can't. And did he raise a pistol? I also probably can't prove that either. See, says 1, 2, 2, I cried with composure. Can I prove that he did it with composure? Or that he even said that at all? No. No. Oh, wait a second, no, but maybe they did fire a second shot. But no, they're saying the way Trucy was going off of this one, it's like, I like that contradiction, kind of sad to see. She kind of was commenting on that one like that was something, there was something wrong with this one, though. Huh. Well, I don't know. Could he have just tossed the cell phone? But that wouldn't make any sense where it actually ended up in the... I mean, how did it end up under the car? That's what wouldn't make any sense to me. That's why I don't really get it, actually. But anyway, I'm gonna try the pistol. Objection! What the heck? Why? I am confused. I really am confused here. Okay, wait a second.
Tisk, tisk, another misleading request. Yet you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse, you can't see how it affects you.
You know, I'm really getting lucky here. I really feel like I could be easily very guilty right now, but, you know, caught a break. I caught a break. Come again?
Wait a second, you say? A second? Are we intended to wait just that a single second? 1/60th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, do you ask for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes 35 seconds?
Mr. Justice. Yes, Your Honor? Am I to understand you are objecting to the length of a second? Yes, I mean, no! Here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it.
Ah, common ploy, made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints.
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran.
That's right! He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints.
Dat!
Ah, the little girl sticking to the university student. There's a song in there.
I'm not little.
Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fraulein?
Eh?
What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves? ...
Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo.
Well, Mr. Justice, could the killer have been wearing gloves? Nope. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were white, which means some trace of the prints remain, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol. His reasoning's a little bit different from mine. My reasoning was technically the knife, which does have fingerprints, and which was also found at the crime scene, but sure, Apollo, I'll take your reasoning too.
Oh, what a good book. I can't believe it. That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant. He threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of.
That sounds solid to me. Well, Herr Forehead, any of your precious objections? ...
What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh?
Isn't what obvious? The difference is so obvious.
When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Walkie drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure what Walkie threw away.
You're right.
He's just confused because the pistol was found at the scene.
The scene! The horrible scene!
Poor Mr. Stickler, it must be hard to be so perfect, and yet so wrong.
Well, it can't be said that I'm quite offended. While it is indeed true that was seized by the flesh... Oh my gosh, I can't...
What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this?
Well, if what he threw away wasn't a pistol,
then it had to be something else. At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. Wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin. Perhaps you can inform the court as to the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene? The knife. Is that... Are you freaking kidding me? A sword? I saw one of those on the late-night movie last night. Great. A sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it. His prints. The single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. Indeed. Oh, Herr Forehead. You're forgetting two other things you've just proven. Huh? One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Walkie Kitaki. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim. Oh! Indeed. Never underestimate a Gavin is a lesson here. This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In the light, I believe it would be
Who've us to hear about what's really occurred. With less assuming, please.
Ah, the greatest book I've ever read in my entire life. It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming. Yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are assuming that my assumption is no better.
Ahem. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired.
Witness testimony from the shot to the car.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Why didn't you chase the killer?
He was, as you say, a killer. Of course, I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that.
Did the testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also now know that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not? Does it not, Mr. Justice?
I better find a way to take this testimony down quick.
Why do I get the feeling that that cell phone that he was talking about, by the way, why do I feel like that was maybe, oh, I don't know, maybe the cell phone that we found underneath the car? Could it be? Is it a possibility? I think it could be a possibility. I don't see why not. I mean, especially with that clock on there. I mean, it seems like, you know, one of those clocks that some, like, oh, a perfectionist, like a perfect college student would be using or something. Like, I don't friggin' know. Like the super perfect type, you know? I mean, look at that clock. How can you go wrong with that? Let me zoom in on that. Let me show you again, just in case you forgot what it looks like. Look at that thing. Look at that thing that you can't even see. Because I have to freaking do this instead. Now look at that! Isn't that freaking amazing? That is totally the kind of clock he would use. I'm just saying here, it really is. Why I think that might be his cell phone, but we have no proof at the moment. I mean, I don't know, we'll see anyway.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene.
Which way did the killer run?
By that time, it was clear that the killer had not noticed me. Naturally, he had run in the opposite direction.
That would mean he ran in the opposite direction from the Kataki mansion.
Achung, don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home.
Actually, hold on a second now. Or, where's the Kataki mansion? He ran in the opposite direction of the Kataki mansion. Wouldn't that mean he was running north? Which means he'd be running towards nowhere? I mean, I don't even know what's north of the People's Park, so I can't really prove that would be the case, but I don't really know. Let's see. Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
All he had to do was loop back once he was out of sight.
Ah, how did he know that's where I was going?
Nor can I simply leave the scene in good conscience.
You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing.
If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon the lab room floor.
Oh, cool answer, very cool.
So nothing strange about how he acted. Trucy looks like she has something to say. And if she does, then she should freaking say it, but you know. Let's see, nor could I simply, you know, there's one thing about the word conscience that I've always, you know, I've never really paid much attention to this, but did you notice that the word conscience has the word science in it? Ooh. Why does no one ever call it conscience? That sounds kind of neat now. Oh no, not really. Anyway, there's something I wanted to point out. I just noticed that randomly. Why did I just notice it just now? I don't know. I really don't know.
Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police.
Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance?
It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect syllogism. Sure, I don't really know. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite, simply exquisite. I may be perfect, but it doesn't mean I know the word syllogism. So, actually, that might be the right way to say it. I'm not sure, actually. Like I said, I'm not as perfect as I make myself seem.
He actually looks like he's going to cry. Trucy, please. Say what you have to say. Just say it. Go on now. You don't have to just give me that blank stare like, Apollo, you know what to do.
Until the police arrived at the scene, 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes?
I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could have happened at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction. ...
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing.
It was late at night. It's not odd to think there would be a few people around in the park.
So he just stood there, watching? Not much to go on there. Trucy, if you got something to say, by all means, say it! I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Had enough at last, hair forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit? Yes? No, let's not back off. The defense still has some questions that demand answers, Your Honor. Your opinion, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh, let him play attorney until he's satisfied, I say. I will amuse myself by composing my next smash hit in my head. Very well. You may continue with the cross-examination. So, I'm assuming that's not really going to do anything? I suppose so anyway. Wait a second. Let's see. I could not leave the scene good conscience or go use stuff in the comment. Police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later. Is there any proof of when they actually arrived? Just curious about that. Who could have dropped it? It doesn't say anything about usage on it, so that's unfortunate. Let's see. 10 p.m. Between 10:15 and 10:45 p.m. Is there anything about the police report when they just showed up randomly? Is there anything about that? I'm just wondering about it, because if there's any proof of when that happened, I don't really know. Okay. Well, I'm not really... Well, anyway, the witness is way too self-assured. There's got to be a weakness somewhere in this testimony. Wait, what? No. Are you saying... Wait a second now. Let me guess. I have to press this again, right? I'll go ahead and press this again. Maybe that's what they want me to do. Okay, here we go. Gotta just scroll through all this stuff once again. Hopefully it actually... Maybe there isn't anything left to unravel in this testimony after all. Why are you not quick scrolling? I don't understand it. Wait. Some of us like... I see. Some of us have glamorous careers we'd like to get back to this month, hair forehead. They don't have enough to put Walkie away yet. Should I back off for now? Wait, why was it different though? Huh. No. The fence still has some quite... Okay, this is actually... I want to actually read that again. Hold on a second now. I want to read it, everyone. My goodness. So anyway, let's see. Can you tell me about blah, blah, blah? I don't care, blah, blah, blah. That's great and all. Let's see. Where does this thing happen? Maybe there isn't anything left to unravel in this testimony after all. Oh. Okay, fine. Fine, I see how it is. Anyway, now let's go ahead and say yes. There's nothing fishy about the testimony at all. I'm gonna get guilty for that, aren't I? It appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony. There are a number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then, after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion. No! No!
It can't be!
It seems we've come to the end of the line here.
No, that can't be all. How unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. Were you, hair forehead?
I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant Milwaukee Kataki. Please no. Thank you.
Eek!
Okay, what? I'm confused now, actually. Trucy?
Nobody move.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you? ...
There will be no verdict in this court. Not yet.
Wait, are you one of the Katakis? The Katakis? You mean the notorious gangsters?
If you don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes.
What? This court will not bow to pressure from the likes of...
Judge. ... I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Recess, 20 minutes, or I promise you, you'll regret it.
Wait! How'd he disappear so fast?
Well, things are getting a little bit interesting now.
Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo! I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man.
To be continued.
Well, aren't things getting a little bit crazy now, aren't they?
Just a random kidnapping in the middle of court. Well, I figured something had to save us right there. Otherwise, I was gonna be like, geez, how am I gonna figure out anything in this testimony? I need to know. June 16th, 11:17 a.m. Mr. Court, defendant, review.
Trucy? Trucy?
You move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show.
Oh, bah! Whatever, I don't care. Trucy, you're okay. I thought... Don't cry, Apollo! Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else... Oh, no. Well, that's just a little bit weird. Ah! What the heck is that? Surprised? This is one of my best tricks, the amazing Mr. Hat.
You look marvelous, darling. ...
He's a big hit on stage at the Wonder Bar.
Yes, I am a big hit. Ha ha ha.
Well, what do you think? Do you like it? You mean you, Trucy? There are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Apollo, now is not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said to Walkie's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But that testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do? Look, once the judge declares the verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will.
Trucy, no more stage abductions, please.
I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got.
You can see what he's feeling?
Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times.
All the times there was a contradiction. I don't remember.
Actually, I don't remember them exactly. Good thing I do. There were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in. And each time there was a contradiction.
In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
He said the man tossed aside a pistol. But it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction. Well, that's true, but how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit.
In his hand he held, yes, a pistol, and was pointed at the man pulling the stand.
Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense and he fiddled with the corner of a page in his book. How am I supposed to see that? Well, I can see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker? What? I always sat next to Daddy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling.
And they usually weren't really feeling it, now were they? You mean that's how Mr. Wright won all those games?
It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all, but not good enough to go undefeated that long.
Great, so he cheated. But what does that do for us? I don't believe this.
You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony, perceive the truth.
Watch a testimony? Perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose.
Not true. ... Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo.
Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is she serious?
Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way to out of this one, Apollo.
What was that she said before the trial started? Huh. Mr. Wright's not here today?
He said his old foot injuries were acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy.
Is this what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice. Or should I say, get ready for justice! Ugh! Let's do it!
Apollo!
You know, I'm starting to think I can do this.
I knew you could do it all along. And one more thing.
Question mark?
Try to cover for Mr. Hat as best you can.
I just flew in from the coast and boy are my arms tired.
Right. I suppose so anyway, might as well do things. June 16th, 11:40 a.m. District Court of Room number 4. Court is now back in session. Right, we're fine. Ahem. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice.
Oh, you mean me?
Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat? Ah, right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that. You settled that? Yes. It was an out-of-court settlement, right. Perhaps Fraulein would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you can see it, now you don't, am I right?
I think he's onto me.
I wish he would stop being so cool. Let us dispense with these necessities and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for our gifted witness? Right, the defense would like to request another cross-examination, because I forgot to ask something. There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request. However, but this court will not permit stalling for time. Understood, Your Honor.
Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
Alrighty then, well he's fiddling with his book right now. Anyway.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene. Nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
So it is related to the cell phone thing then, huh? Interesting. I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all.
Focus, Apollo! Find his weak spots!
Focus. If only it were that easy. My ears hear what he says. My eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? What's this? My bracelet! Oh no, we're gonna be sucked in. Oh, never mind, not yet. What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow. I thought we were gonna be stuck in a dimensional portal again, though.
I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony.
I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. How does a bracelet tell you something? Doesn't make any sense. Oh well. From shots of call. Okay, well that's cool and all. I guess, though, since we are technically at the end of this episode, though, I guess we will see his amazing power in action on the next exciting episode. Well, something I forgot to ask the first time this went off, though, but what do you think about Apollo's little power, I guess? I mean, if you want to call it that. I don't know what the heck's up with that, but, I mean, for Pete's sake, apparently it's coming from his bracelet, of all things. Why? Why the bracelet? I don't really understand that. Anyway, though, oh, we also got a full, I just realized we got a full meter again. That's cool. So that means less likely to get a guilty verdict, but either way, though, do you think we're going to get a guilty verdict on the next exciting episode? In this court case, perhaps? Who knows? I narrowly avoided one in this episode, even, but thankfully I didn't. But either way, like I said, though, let me know what you think about Apollo's power. Let me know if you think I'm going to be guilty next episode, and well, tomorrow, I don't know. I just hope I'm not going to be guilty. I just hope. Hope, everyone! Hope for it! Hope will never die!